Julie the other day too. So we have uh, been in touch with Julie as well. So I thought maybe the best thing
Shannon,
would
do you think that I should add? I'm just about to add the bios of all the people for day one on the new page, the new colorful page. Do you think I should put Jim at the top, above contributors, or below contributors? Maybe I should share my screen.
No, no, you shouldn't. Now is not the time for that.
All right.
And we'll get there. And I am
I'm not
so
gonna.
happy for our co-creation. It is so much fun working with you, Julie. And Shiv, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming and playing with us, because day 4 is going to be amazing. And it is kind of where I live and in what we're doing, and how we weave our philosophies and the things that, you know, give us goosebumps. How we do that is, I guess that's our task for day 4. And so Bob has sent us an email with a wonderful suggestion. And I haven't thought about actually offering it as a suggestion to other people because, you know, you never get the opportunity, but here Bob has brought it in. And so I want to honor Bob and each one of our gifts in order to allow us to walk in grace and beauty into this new reality that we are trying very hard to share in a good way, to make it as attractive as possible. And so knowing that our words come from within and they just kind of tumble out of our mouths, sometimes it takes longer than we expect. And so what Bob is trying to do, I think, with his suggestion is to support us in a good way in order to stay within the timeframes that we have, because we've got 13 people all on that one day. And so his suggestion of writing and rehearsing and figuring out how much time it takes to say what we intend to say, it's more in the head than I really like to be. But, you know, when we're working with other people, we want to be as effective and not
structured. If you have 13 people to talk and there's only 90 minutes and
75.
What?
75.
75.
That's what it comes down to.
That's more than 5 minutes you can say.
Yeah, we'll go over. I see the flow where Shannon's going here. So there's 2 things I think we're going to do, and we're making this recording in case it's useful to other people who are presenting on Peace Weeks, especially day 4. And so there's 2 places we can go to help ground you, Shiv, into being more prepared for day 4.
Okay.
And one of them is Bob's suggestion, which I think Shannon's ready to demonstrate. And the other is just that we do have the schedule and the order of people, and we can screen share that with you. Unless I missed the email, did she send an email? Leslie send an email yet with like kind of how much time everybody gets?
Yeah.
I can show you my spreadsheet. That's visual.
I'm writing down what is deliverable as far as I'm concerned. So the first thing I've written is write something that I can talk about in 5 minutes and share it with you. And you will have all those writings of different people, and you will put it on the screen so that people can read.
No. No, I think what we're inviting people to do is to write it for themselves and then speak it into the camera as we're reading it underneath the camera. And I'm going to show you how to do that just now, okay?
So if I have something written here, or I have something written on the screen,
Yeah.
Then I can share that screen. Is that
Yeah.
what you were saying?
No, I'm going to show you by sharing my screen what is Bob is suggesting. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So let's
All right.
do it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to show you what I've got on my, what I would be seeing as I'm doing my presentation. It's
Okay.
not what I'm going to say, but what happened there? Where did that come from? I don't want that. Share screen. I don't want the whiteboard. I want that. Okay. So I wrote this a while ago, and this could be what I would want to speak. And I believe, well, you're seeing my screen, but if I was in a presentation, I would not be sharing my screen. I would just be speaking into the camera, but I
Okay.
would see this on my desktop,
Okay.
on my
Okay.
computer. And
Okay.
I would be
Okay.
able to, and I don't know how well you can see my face in this small venue. There's a slider that shows more picture or more screen from, can you see that on yours, Julie? You know what I'm talking about? The slider that makes the pictures bigger or the screen bigger?
Are you sharing some? Oh yeah, you're sharing something on the screen. Just a sec. Let me.
Right, and when you're looking at that,
Okay. Just 1 second.
there's,
Give me 1 second, Shannon. Let me see your screen. Um, my problem is I have two monitors. Sometimes things get hidden. Okay.
yes, things do get hidden. Can you
Yeah.
see my screen now?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
says a new kind of social facility.
Yeah.
And you see my picture and Julie and you on the side of the screen.
No, I see the three of you. So I
Right.
don't
Okay.
need
In between
so
the document and those pictures, there's a slider that you can make the document bigger or the pictures bigger.
I can.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know
If
whether
you
I can.
mouse over
I
that
don't see the
barrier in
slider.
between.
Your document says a new kind of social facility.
Right. And in
Top
between
chart.
that document, Shiv,
Mhm.
and the pictures of us that are live, there is an up and down vertical that you can slide back and forth to make the document bigger or the pictures bigger.
You know what is happening, Shannon?
No?
Because I have two screens, what I see is not the same thing as what you see. I see the three of us on one screen, and I see the document and no
Oh,
picture on the other screen.
oh, the luxury. Oh my gosh, Shiv. Oh, you are so
So
lucky.
I can see big
That's a
faces of
setting.
everybody.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, well, other people might need to know that. I am so
Right. So,
grateful for the
yeah, I've done that before because
I
I have
wish.
two monitors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you have two monitors, that is a setting in Zoom. If you don't have two monitors, then what Shannon is sharing is really useful.
Yeah, that is what if you don't have two monitors, then you have on the top you have, or on the
On the
side you
side.
have
Yeah.
various people's pictures.
Excellent. Okay. So
Mhm.
basically, what I would be doing in my presentation is I would put my document up in front of me so that when I'm looking at the document
Mhm.
between, right now I'm looking at the camera. And when I'm looking at the document, I just drop my eyes a little bit. And maybe if I sit back comfortably, I can speak. A new kind of social facility, our heart gardens in communities around the world, are networked communal organic gardens sowed indoors by an urban community, while individuals and families build friendships, share knowledge, traditional wisdom, and good healthy food. Everyone is welcome to drop in to work, laugh, and learn. Their efforts will be exchanged for meals and etc. And so your experience, Shib, would be as if I was actually speaking to you off the cuff. but I'm
Yeah,
actually reading the
I see
document.
what you're saying. But when I am um, reading my document for everybody else, um, you're gonna see me looking on this side.
I don't want you to do that.
Don't want me to do that. Let me try another thing. Uh,
Okay,
let
now
me
we're just
try
looking
if
at you.
I can bring your document. Uh, where is your document? Is it right here? No.
I have stopped sharing screens, so you'll have to use a document of your very own.
Okay. Um, I'm going to bring
Are
my
you
document
suggesting that
here. All right.
I'm still a little confused. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why did you demonstrate that while you were sharing your screen?
How would, if I read something to you
Mm-hmm.
from my screen, now I'm looking at my screen and the camera both together. Okay.
Yeah.
So the PeaceLAB is the culmination of hundreds of hours of intense dialogue within ChatAction. Its genesis comes from one of the members, Kurt Kruger,
Okay.
whose
Stop there, Shiv.
infectious passion. Can you, is that okay? Is that
What I've
how
noticed, Shiv, is that you move your head instead of your eyes. And that's okay. I mean, we're all getting used to this new format. So
Yeah,
there is no fault in any of this.
I'll try
And,
to.
and smiling helps people not see
Like,
how much your
I think
eyes
that,
move.
Okay.
and
So
I have some
this is
feedback
how I will
too.
look like when I'm reading from my screen.
Yeah,
Right, but there's another piece of feedback that you need from a fellow two-screener here.
Mhm.
Turn the setting off and only look at our faces and the document in one screen.
Uh, so
You
maybe I'll
move the
withhold one
faces.
screen. I'll take the other screen off when I'm
Yeah,
on the fourth.
because you're gonna see I'm looking back at you guys over there because I just slid you over
Yeah,
there and I'm doing some work
yeah.
here, but it looks
I
like
think
you're
maybe the thing to do is use only one screen.
yeah.
Oh man, you guys are good. I remember having two screens when I was I was doing work with Rotterdam from here in Kamloops, and it was so exciting. I had so much going on there in all alone in my apartment that I was so alive, and having two screens was really nice. And then I had to come down to the laptop. It was a hard transition.
I get the idea. I'll use one screen and I'll so that I can look at everybody's pictures as well as my document.
Excellent.
Yeah, because you want
Now,
to see faces.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So here's my
and we
next
want to see
question.
yours.
We do want to see yours. I love your profile too, but what I'm really interested, Shiv, is in what you're bringing. Are you comfortable with the message and the format and what's being invited?
No, I'm fine. I think I'll be all right.
You'll
I may
prepare
not
something in
may
5 minutes
not
and
be
you'll learn how to use it when you're
comfortable. I
set,
may not
right?
smile very much. I'm not.
You're
I
not a
don't.
smiley guy.
I'm not a smiley guy.
We're gonna make you a smiley guy after,
Let me
you
make
know.
you laugh.
My wife tells me all the
We're gonna make
time,
you laugh.
You're so serious," but that's the way
You know,
I
it
grew up
takes
to
all
be.
kinds. It takes all kinds. And for some people, smiling is not the first thing that comes to their face. And please be yourself. You know, it does take all kinds. And
Yeah.
I love to make people who are not smiley guys smile. And so I look forward to the opportunity.
Good, good, good. I can use some help in that area.
Oh, playing together, I think we will all smile more.
So you're going to be, Shannon, you're going to be the MC for the fourth. You
No, what Leslie has decided or come up with is that during our day before meeting, when we're talking about, you know, how the transitions and whatnot, what she is going to suggest is that she is not going to be the one who starts
you unpack that a little
everything.
slower, Shannon?
Unpack that a little slower. Okay.
Shannon, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's important to communicate with people, specifically that in case you in case you didn't see the email, or if maybe it wasn't even sent yet, the day before day 4. So that's
okay.
March
So
3rd. What's going to happen?
On Wednesday.
Yes,
Okay.
we are going to meet on the Wednesday.
I'll make sure I keep the Wednesday free.
Well, it's not going to be a long meeting because, of course, Leslie is going to be, you know, gearing up for doing and, well, and de-stressing from what has gone before. So what is happening on March 4th is that we are going to transition to each other rather than Leslie stepping in between.
Okay.
That will allow more time for us, and it'll also give her an opportunity to step back.
Okay.
And truly, none of us are here to beat our own drum, except, of course, if we are. And so we are going to be having, you know, I believe 3 meditations and whatnot, and we will just go from one presentation into the next presentation and to the next until I believe, well, and we'll get into the particulars of that on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
How's that, Julie? Can't hear you. You're mutable.
You're muted, Julie.
Did Leslie send that email yet to the day 4 people?
Shiv, have you received that email saying that we're going to meet on the Wednesday?
Not
yet.
Until we met.
So none of us have seen that.
Well,
no.
Okay. I'm not in day 4, but the 2 of you are. So
yeah. And I don't know if that's gone out to day 2 or to day 1. So, you know, I'm not part of those days. So while I'm going to be watching and I'll be part of the after chat, I don't know what structure is built for the presenters for day 1, 2, and 3. Apparently not for 4 or 5 either. And that's all okay.
A question, what is it that the organizers hope to achieve in these 5 days?
Interesting question, Shiv. And that is kind of in Spirit's hands, because we have been so moved by inspiration in order to create this Peace Week, PeaceLAB. It is being kind of revealed to us that it's a combination of laboratory and labyrinth, and Marcia's labyrinth, Peace Labyrinth, came into our field beautifully through her, and she's gifted that into our co-creation. And so this is an experimentation into what Spirit can and does want to bring into our reality through us. And so we are a live piece of the peace that is seeking to be embraced by all of us. My point of view.
An experiment is done either to test something or to measure something or to find something. You're exploring something. What is it that we are exploring? with this experiment?
Peace 2021. How do we walk into it and embrace it and share it with each other?
Mystery,
The mystery of peace and how it can,
what we haven't heard before.
The mystery of peace.
and
You
how
know,
can science and spirituality be embraced in a weaving where both are honored and all are a part of it.
you're talking like a mystic, and I'm not a mystic. My
I know
problem.
you're not. And that's okay, because what I see from my point of view is that your piece of this is really important, because it is through science that we are grounded and taught how this world works. What are the rules of this environment, so that we can work with the rules and try to and acknowledge that this is what is. And so how do we work with that in order to be more than we have been?
You know, what I find is peace is achievable, but it is not achievable at no cost. So people who want to be
Bless you.
people who want to be peaceful and who want to see the world in peace and harmony, each and every one of them have got to work hard, at least work, uh, practice, discipline, and live their life so that they're happy and peaceful inside. And they practice to control the mind, the vagaries of the mind, and they take, get a hold of their instincts, instincts of fear, survival, sustenance, and procreation, and above all, the herd instinct that is built into us. And to overcome the instincts that is part of our genes is not something that you can take for granted. It comes at a price. And the price is regulation, self-regulation, self uh, uh,
Control.
restraint,
Restraint. Yeah.
you know, and I think those kinds of things should be taught in the classroom. Instead, we say to people, okay, you be compassionate, when people are unable to be compassionate. Our instincts make us unable to follow commandments. And what we need, what we need to do is to uh, learn how to do the unconscious consciously. And that's hard work. That needs, you have to be aware at all times. Let nothing happen through you unconsciously or even subconsciously.
I
Uh,
understand.
and I think this kind of education is not available.
No.
And people do not have an attention span of more than 5 seconds. Used to be 5 minutes, but not even 5 seconds now. And with that kind of attention span, everything is happening unconsciously.
May I? I would like to provide a case study for it's not hard work. It's I look at what Julie and I and Leslie and Kurt and Marcia and all of us, what we are doing. We are working our tails off, and we are loving what we're doing, and we're doing it even though we are running the risk of compromising our health. And takes discipline to say, no, I can't do that. This is what I can do. And making our choices between what pulls at us, because spirit moves us to do the things that we do, and we say no to the other things. And that is the discipline that we need to hang our hat on and hold on, because we're going.
You have to have a pandemic of that kind of discipline. You see, the thing is, you have a group of 10 people, you are fired from inside to have that kind of discipline. What I'm saying is, we have to light that fire in the hearts of the whole world.
Absolutely.
And for that, we have to see what is the way. And what is the way to change the culture of the world? And how do you do it systematically? Yes, 10 people working and being fired up, that's better than nobody being fired up. But not good enough if you look at the total picture.
Shiv, there is magic in this world, and it doesn't depend on science to regulate it. Spirit is working through us in every moment. And this is going to be born. This is happening. It is not going to be confined to the 10 of us. This is going out to the world. This is what we came here for.
I wish you the best.
I'm so glad you're a part of it, Shiv.
Coming from engineering, I like to think that we should have a plan of action. And we should work towards that plan of action rather than let things happen through the spirit. Of course, spirit will be with us if we have the good intentions, but we also need a plan.
I absolutely agree, Shiv. The plan is actually the structure that we work with until spirit has a better idea.
I think spirit put an idea in my head that is work through the system of education.
Yes.
And change that system of education, or work towards changing that system of education. Yes. If we start now, meaningful changes may come in 50 years. I won't be around.
Shiv, it's changing right now.
That is the time to start.
It's changing right now. That the COVID thing changed everything. And if we start in this moment, like you say, it will happen way before 50 years, way before. Because
I'm not worried if it happens in 50 years, but if it happens in 50 years or 100 even, I'll be very happy. I'm looking backward on history. We've been killing each other for how many?
A long time.
It hasn't happened so far. Not that people were not thinking that it should happen. It didn't happen.
The
And
transition is happening now, though, and I'm it. What I
I,
want to, I
I,
want to carry on. Sorry, I'm sorry.
no, I wish you're right, and I'm wrong. It should happen
I don't
tomorrow,
want.
now, today.
I don't want anybody to be wrong, but I do want people to be awakened to the imminence of what is going on. We are now totally connected through Zoom. Totally. I'm sorry. There are people who don't have access. And I really feel that Spirit is going to reach out to them as well in order to provide them with the training wheels that technology is, until we actually learn that extra sense that I believe and that I feel when I am in communion with Spirit. I know that we are all present on the other, in the other dimension that holds the one that we are. And and technology is the training wheels until we get all up into that. But that is happening now as we speak on these training wheels
Yeah.
that tech is.
Yeah.
And
In my 5 minutes, I'm going to be talking about changing education.
yay.
That is what I have been doing for the last 20 years, researching how education should change. Uh, it's not education should reach everybody. I find the most educated people these days are the most conflicted people. Um, there's no country better educated than the United States of America. And you know what the state of conditions is there in peace, as far as peace is concerned. And Europe is not doing all that great either. And
Well,
you know what is happening. You know
Finland is
what is
doing pretty
happening
good.
in the Middle East, and you know what is happening in the rest of the world. Everywhere you look, um, what we are learning in the school system is not good enough. They don't teach us how to contemplate. They don't teach us how to see reality. Science cannot show us reality. Science can only show us the immediate reality. What is behind the immediate, the science is unable to show. Only contemplation can show that. And we don't know what contemplation is. We don't even know how to spell the word. And so people are totally unaware of what is out there that we can do to see the reality of existence. And if they don't know what the reality of existence is, they have some concept of God, which is different from my concept of God, which may be different from your concept of God, and we keep on fighting about our concepts of God.
Yeah.
The God is the real one, is beyond any concept.
We get so caught up in our heads that we can't feel what's going on. And God is a feeling.
Yeah, but the thing is, God is head and heart seem to be talking to each other.
Yeah.
We are living through times when we don't want to use the head, and we say we are using the heart, as if the heart does not lead you astray. The heart can lead you astray. There's a lot of misplaced compassion. And uh, heart can lead you astray just like head can lead you astray. They both have
That's
to
why you
agree.
have both.
That's why we have both. So they both need to agree. And we have to be able to think, and we also have to be able to feel.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and we also need to be able to serve.
Yeah.
There's no point of me feeling love for you if I cannot even bring a glass of water for you.
Ah, thank you.
So all those things have to go on together.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I feel that we push the hard things so much that we become intellectually incapable.
Um, one of the most
We have to push the integration of the two, and what is happening in the school system is only using
head.
the head, no heart at all, total ignorance of the reality that is not visible. Science said, whatever is not accessible to the senses, forget about it. So we keep on study this, study that, study that, study that, but we have no judgment, no feeling.
We're getting there though, Shiv. It is through conversations like this and the conversations and presentations that we're doing in the PeaceLAB and our ongoing internal work that we all need to contemplate. And I'm going to suggest that, I don't know if you know, have you started the Peace Challenge, the steps into the Peace Labyrinth?
Right?
Have you started the Peace Challenge, which is the steps into the Peace Labyrinth? There's 21 steps. Have you
No,
started
I have
that?
not. I just came into the circle
Ah, okay.
recently,
Okay.
not even a week ago.
Now,
Uh,
the reason I'm mentioning that,
and I think Marilyn Turkovich uh, uh, introduced me to the PeaceLAB. Before that,
lovely.
I had not heard about PeaceLAB.
Ah, well, you have more to discover. Uh,
So I
Who
have a
did
lot to
you?
discover.
Who introduced you?
Pardon?
Was it Marilyn?
Marilyn, yeah.
Who? Huh? Of Cities Week.
Marilyn Turkovich.
oh, I'm not familiar with her name. You
Uh,
muted, Julie.
I don't know, maybe Leslie knows her. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
Out of the picture, how Marilyn thought about
the different Marilyn.
bringing
ah,
me into the picture.
That's
Uh,
Marilyn. That's a different Marilyn than Marilyn Hamilton.
yeah.
no, Marilyn is, I think, of the Charter of Compassion.
Ah, yeah.
She was the executive director or something like that, high up there, but not anymore. Uh,
Well, I'm glad that she brought you in, Shiv, because we're going to have some fun. The challenges are an an individual walk through the chakras, um, and it's a guided tour through the awakening process.
mhm.
And I'm really impressed. Now, I've been intimately connected with each one of them because I've been putting the steps up on the web page.
I see.
And so I've been watching how they have developed, and it's beautiful.
No, I do not uh, know of the labyrinth or
Well,
the 7 steps. Each
okay. Well,
one corresponds to one of the chakras.
I'm
Uh,
sorry, the question?
You said 7 steps?
Well, there are 21 steps. We're
Or
doing
21
3 in
steps. Okay.
each.
Three in each of the chakra.
3
Is that
steps
right?
in each chakra. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's been debate about whether the chakras are actually a valid way of looking at it, and it's one way of looking at it, and we're the way I like to talk about these things is my my point of view is I'm real clear on mine, but I have fuzzy edges. And so it allows other people to find their truth from their own point of view. And I'm not making anybody wrong, but I am inviting people to see my point of view, and maybe that might inform or shine a light on something that resonates for them. And so we find our way together.
Yeah, why don't we, if you're bringing chakras in, why don't we bring the harmony between Ida and Pingla in to raise the consciousness from the Muladhara chakra to Sahasrara chakra. So that is this chakra is a system,
Yes.
and Muladhara chakra, the lowest one, is that's where our consciousness lies most of the time at the survival level, bare survival level, and it's the question of raising the chakra from uh, raising the consciousness from the Muladhara to the top of the head chakra, the Brahmarandra chakra. And it's a system and it's a science.
Yes, it
And,
is.
and if you're not educated in it, then you can keep going in the seven chakras. Uh, it requires effort, and the effort essentially is um, pranayam. The effort is pranayam, how you balance the energy uh, of the body to raise your consciousness. So if you bring it into simplistic terms, you use the breath to balance the energy and to raise your consciousness. And it's such an easy system. But people are unaware again.
And they also hold different viewpoints on whether it is whether it works for them or not. For example, Malini, who does the Divine Heart meditations, believes that the chakras are not so much points as they are intersections of fields. So it is a different way of looking at it, like the torus of energy that surrounds the body. The intersections of those fields of the torus, different toruses, the different bodies, provide points that are the chakras. And so it is combining different ways of seeing things that enables us to encompass the science that is a way of seeing these different things. And the excitement that I feel is the sharing of our different points of view in order to see more clearly what is, so that we can move forward from what is to what we want.
Yeah. But this ancient physiology that of chakras and the nadis.
Shiv, I'm sorry. I want to honor where we are and the time that we and the purpose that we came together here today. I don't want to change your mind. This is not my purpose here. I want to support you in presenting your position where you are into day 4, and for us all to grow together in a good way. I don't want to take this conversation too much further because we are getting into really deep stuff and it's really exciting. And I could probably talk in this way for hours and hours and hours. And I want to honor our listeners, the people who are willing to come and listen to this conversation. I want to honor their time. So we'd like to transition into
I,
the
I,
next.
I want to start that honoring your time. We got into this discussion because that's what happened.
Yeah.
Not that I want to talk about it. So I'm fine with that.
Oh, I thank you so much for coming and being and playing with me.
It just happened. So to be clear in my mind, all I need to do is write my point of view, whatever I have to offer, put that down on paper that I can deliver in 5 minutes. And I do that delivery as best as I can.
Yeah.
I connect with people, looking at their faces as well as being guided by the writing that I have done. And I very well understand that I should not be going into the 6th minute, because then 13 times 6 is 78. You got 75
Yeah,
minutes.
we're going to do our best, and it's going to be what it is. And I am so thrilled to be a part of it. And I'm glad you are too. Thank you so much, Chef.
So that's what I needed to do, to make sure what is it that I'm supposed to do, so that I start thinking about it. My head doesn't work very fast.
Well, you better start right after this then. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday and hearing your presentation on Thursday.
Sure. All the best.
All the best to you. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much for the two of you to
It
give
was
me
a
a hand
pleasure.
clarifying in my mind as to what is needed.
Thank you so much.
All the
for
best.
coming.
Right.
All the best to you. Bye for now.
Yes.